Still, Garakuta must feel confident going as the second attacker for Aphelion Esports with a deep charge in this top left section. Queen does not go for the Eagle Artillery early on here, but with a jump spell, will get access to the CC and that scatter shot, and maybe able to make it over to the artillery after all. No, he's going to send in a Dragon Rider to get the job done. It should be relatively safe out there on the edges, and that CC is not going to cause too much problems for the Archer Queen. Lava Hound just putting out a little piddling of damage, but that Eagle Artillery, on the other hand, has brought her down to half hit points. Enemy Royal Champion has been dispatched, but Garakuta's Royal Champion has used her ability early on here for this raid to take shape. He's charging in now with his main attack.
There we have those Dragon Riders charging into this base. Meanwhile, we have the Queen charging in this long compartment. I feel like this blimp was not really needed because this Queen can reach that Town Hall, so there was no need to actually make sure that sending in that blimp, because this Queen already is taking down so much value. From this compartment, she can reach pretty much everything inside this base, and this was such a crazy Queen charge. There's another phrase to keep those Dragon Riders alive. But wait, there's another air defense on the back end. Can those Dragon Riders power through, or are there enough traps to defend them? So far, it seems like we have so many Dragon Riders still left alive, so that should be no problem whatsoever, especially with the Queen still alive and her ability. Woody, this base looks smashed.
Yeah, really excellent job to Garakuta. I mean, he probably could have finished it off with just Archer Queen or the Dragon Riders, but to have basically the entire force still left here, this is a crushing blow to the Queen Walkers, and really great base identification by Garakuta. Smashed through, and this one wasn't even really close. Look how much time is left. I don't even think he lost a single Dragon Rider in that whole attack, Itsu.
Yeah, it was truly impressive attack. I feel like this charge on its own already took down the entirety of the space. This one compartment, being able to reach everything, like you were able to reach all of the expos, you were able to reach the Town Hall, the single front tower behind the Town Hall. You were just able to reach everything with this one charge, and that was just way too much value overall. So really, really approach, really nice base identification, as you said, with figuring out how you get into this compartment, because it's always easier said than done. You can like, oh yeah, that compartment looks good, but how do I get over there? What is the best way of getting into this compartment? This is a big question. And Garakuta was able to figure that out really nicely and made that base disappear really quickly.
Yeah, Queen Charge is kind of the default standard start, so anytime you find a base where you have a long corridor in the middle that you can just take a leisurely stroll through, popping down a gold storage, taking out a scatter shot, knocking apart an Eagle Artillery, and then the pièce de résistance, the best part at the end, you get a cherry on top in the form of a Town Hall targetable by the Archer Queen. That is an easy decision for Garakuta there, and he took it. Maybe the thinking on defense was that there would be enough traps or enough surprises, triggers from the clan castle that would slow down and prevent the Queen from making the charge all the way in, but it didn't seem like the firepower was concentrated enough to deny that. There was no single target Inferno that was really giving the Queen much trouble at all, and with plenty of spells to support her, Garakuta was just undeniable in that last attack.
Yeah, now we have Stars coming in with the Blizzard Lalo. This was one of the strategies where he was just so incredible good at already back then on Town Hall 13. And now he's bringing that as well into this match against Garakuta. Using the freeze onto the sweeper, making sure that he's getting behind this air defense. But where exactly is he trying to go in? Just next to the multi-inferno tower. That's the goal. Trying to take down the defending Queen as well if she's jumping out of the invisibility spell again. That's what she just did. And with this value already, it looks pretty good for him, depending on the heroes are pathing. Because I feel like whenever we see those blizzards, yes, the blizzard itself gets crazy value, but at the same time, I feel like the biggest point, like the biggest power of the strategy is how you can use those heroes afterwards. And let's see what type of magic Stars can show us. But he has around about 2 minutes left in this attack.
He was very careful with that initial blizzard. Almost even took down the enemy multi-target Inferno, but with damage off on it, as well as a knockdown for the clan castle and that enemy archer queen. That is a great start for Stars. Stabs in early with this royal champion, using her to finish off a scatter shot as well. That is going to be a big early commitment from a troop that is usually reserved for the sort of cleanup attack at the end, especially with a late and slow army like the Laloon. But this Sui charge, if it gets value early on by finishing off anything that can stop an aerial attack, those sweepers going down, air defenses really kind of clustered over on the right side, this should be an easy entry point. And with Town Hall secured by this Barbarian King and Archer Queen charge, Stars is well on his way to victory, but just kind of running a bit late on time now. He needs to get that main attack underway, and that's what he's going to do, Itsu.
Yeah, starting that Lalo into this right side, but finding the tester farm right away, with having still the Warden ability left. I think he should all right. Warden ability is getting popped right now, and with those headhunters, he's able to take this defending Royal Champion down. Keep freezing that multi-furniture of the core. There are a couple of red bombs coming up, but it's not enough to just somehow stop this wave of loons going in that way. We have now the backhand freeze as well, but there's so many loons alive. The defending king has been taken down as well by those pups and those minions. And with the Stars has a huge wave of loons still left, and this should be a huge overkill. Really nicely done. Queen Walker increasing on 9 stars after only 3 attacks.
Yeah, if those balloons were forming a wave, I'd call that a tsunami. Still like a dozen of them at least left at the end. Plenty of overkill there. Excellent job to both of our teams so far, where we have seen a perfect war for the first half of this match. 5 attacks completed, and it's triples across the board. I'd say Aphelion Esports are performing quite well, keeping their triples up against a squad that has been able to keep really strong enemies in a low-scoring position. Queen Walker's denied alternate attacks in the finals for the week 1, keeping them down to 12 stars. So Aphelion Esports has already managed to keep it at that point. But why don't we go ahead and look at the roster for Aphelion Esports, where we'll get another quick glance at the players that they have brought to compete here today. 2 attacks in already, but the rest of them lined up here for your consideration. Chaco, Shoya, Sio, Garakuta, and Kazuma, Itsu.
Yeah, a lot of players on that list which are really well known in the community. Incredible players. A couple of them as well, really high up there in Legends. So we know them, we love them, and let's see if they can show exactly that in this match against Queen Walkers. And we have Kazuma coming in with nothing less than super witches. And he's even bringing a couple of super barbarians as well. That's a wild entry. Let's see if that's going to work.
4 of them indeed, a standard number of super witches for this strike, and bringing that ice golem as well for a little bit of cushioning out in front. Potentially could have used it for a charge with this Archer Queen, but instead will be healing her up after all. Finds a Tesla over there, and that could be a little bit of a problem for the healers if they path too close. Could take a few zaps, but nope, they will avoid the shots after all. Unicorn getting zapped now, but this entry point is looking good for Kazuma. Jumps over the hedges, and with a big rage spell, will be trying to get these troops on target as quickly as possible. Does not want them clumped up, because that enemy Eagle artillery is difficult to reach deep within the base, and it is going to take a lot of penetrating to get all the way there, Itsu.
Yeah, he's keep trying to push deeper inside this base. We have the king versus king action at the bottom side. But with that attacking headhunter, that should be not one of those fair fights. Instead, the attacking king is just overpowering over there, and now he's pushing further inside the base. The queen already inside the core. Meanwhile, we have those super witches pushing around the bottom side, finally approaching that eagle. And with that queen ability, the defending queen has been taken down. There we go with the Royal Champion. And so far, this push looks strong. He has a skeleton spell, which he can use for the back. And we talked about it, being able to take the back end heavy hitting defenses. For example, the scatter shot. So that might be a good choice. The queen is wrapping around, trying to save herself. And now the Royal Champion should be able to take over. And this is looking really good for Aphelion again.
Yep, Queen is down, but just like you said, Royal Champion is in here to finish the fight, holding on to her ability still, and 48 seconds left for the last corner of this base. Kazuma looks well positioned for the triple. holding on to that ability until she can get maximum value for it, knocking into that scatter shot and even more defenses. No, he's going to just hold on to it until the very end. The Swag Royal Champion ability by Kazuma. A little bit more salt in the wound for the Queen Walkers, who have been tripled yet again. Aphelion have brought their A game, and these two teams are unstoppable so far. Itsu, what a close war. I love to watch it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Those, like, this is happening when those top teams are facing off, like those incredible high stats. It is really impressive to watch, because like when any normal attackers are out there and trying to attack, and everyone is saying like, yeah, this meta is easy, and then you're as a normal attacker attacking, you're like, fail, another fail, then maybe a time fail. So it's not as easy as those pros are making it look like. So it's a really impressive performance so far from both sides. But at the same time, one of those two teams needs to get the defense. Otherwise, we need to go down to time, because time is the third tiebreaker. So it's all about stars first, then it's the percentage, and then it is time, which is the third tiebreaker. So let's hope that it's not coming down to this, because I feel like having the score based on stars in the end is always a better feeling, I feel.
I'll agree with you on that one. A confident victory is a bit more exciting to see, and I think that that's something that these teams might still yet deliver us. The last attacks do tend to have a lower hit rate than the earlier hits in the war, so let's see if Klaus is still yet able to keep pace with his prior teammates' performance. Triples all around the board for both squads. Is he going to be the one to stumble up next, or will he keep this crazy train a-rolling? That'll blimp right into that middle compartment there, crashing down, and with the invisibility and rage perfectly placed there, those super wizards are going to be causing a massive blizzard disaster for Kazuma on defense.
Yeah, and they can reach so many important buildings. Already taking down the scatter shot, now the Eagle, and Inferno Tower as well. So much is gone already of those key defenses, and this now is looking incredibly good for Klaus already. We have, though, 2 more wall breakers to get that Queen charging into that tunnel compartment to take that down as well. And after that, there's not much left, because consider that there is like only ground expos on the back end, and then coming in with like a Lalo, that's not the best option for a base which you have. So far the push looks strong. Can he take down the Inferno Tower? Yes, he can. And this means this Queen is just charging in there with only the Unicorn. That's just incredible.
Even with a skeleton trap on defense, Kazuma trying to insulate that single target Inferno, it was not enough. Perfect timing on that Queen ability pop before the enemy skeleton's distractor, and that Town Hall is toast. Has used all the abilities for those 3 heroes, and now it's just up to the Grand Warden up top with his La Lune strike. The Sui charge has been so effective, and this base has effectively been imploded. Itsu, everything in the core has just been gutted, and it's just going to be this counterclockwise sweep along the top, down to the left corner, and then out to the bottom in the end. Klaus is well positioned to finish this thing off with another haste spell and 2 freezes to shut down any stubborn defenses on the back end. There it goes on the multi-target Inferno. The Grand Warden statue and the Wizard Tower crushed it apart, Itsu.
What a crazy attack. Like, being able, like, thinking about using those lightnings not only for the sweeper, but as well for damaging that bomb tower to make sure that you can land with a blimp on top of it, and then just getting so much value from in there. That is just incredible. And we have Klaus with that next 3-star. I don't think time is any issue on this one, because he has still 1 Dune left, which he can deploy to make sure that cleanup is no problem. Even the king is getting taken down. He's trying to run away, but I don't think he can run from this one. 20 seconds left. This base is gone. And we have another 3-star. Queen Walkers is being 4 out of 4 against Aphelion Esports. If you think like Aphelion Esports is far behind, not really. They are 3 out of 3 so far, so both teams are showing wonderful performances, and we have to wait for the first fail.
Yeah, amazing skill from both sides. Just a masterclass an offensive Clash of Clans, and this is already shaping up to be one of the highest scoring wars in all of Clash Masters history. To be 7 attacks in and for them to all be triples for both teams is a really big pickup. And if Aphelion Esports keep this up, we will be at 12-12, a scoreline that we often see for clans out of all 5 attacks. So them to still have another round left in the chamber after that, to try to go for the perfect v perfect, unheard of in competitive Clash of Clans. And there has been no major esports competition of which I'm aware that at the top level in the playoffs, we would get a potential perfect v perfect war. Itsu, is this an unprecedented move, or is there any history that we can look to suggest what will happen next?
Right, we still have to wait. Like, there's still a couple of attacks left. I mean, we don't want to jinx this already now too early. The next attack coming in with that Queen Charge Lalo, luring out the Clan Caster, and we have a triple Ice Golem Clan Caster in here, which is an interesting combination and a really cool looking base, I have to say, from Sadra in this one. So let's see how this attack works onto this base. We have the Queen Charge starting. Those Ice Golems are going to make sure that this Queen is taking even longer. There's the first wall break. Going to be able to wall break this compartment to make sure this Queen can reach that scatter shot. And then we have a jump spell later on to make sure that this Queen is actually... If that's going to work, we have to wait, especially with still King, Queen, and Royal Champion at the top side of the space to the left. I don't think that is going to be an easy Lalo coming in then from this top side, Woody.
Yeah, this is going to be a long march and a difficult call. Crashing into that right corner, though, he's gotten a lot of work done already with that Blimp and the Archer Queen now able to pierce directly in. Enemy Archer Queen's taken a lot of damage as well, and she might otherwise have been a big threat for a Laloon push. Jump Spell will not send the Queen into that bottom compartment with the Town Hall. Instead, he's going to rely on the Barbarian King and his friends to get the work done. Freeze Spell is required, though, as a skeleton trap popping out is going to slow down the King a bit. Yak and King are wrecking the Town Hall. Does it stand, though? Yak is going to headbutt it one more time. No! Misses in the Town Hall stand. Siu is going to have to really adapt quickly here to make sure he gets that second star. Sends in the Royal Champion from the bottom, but that might be a little bit of an overcommitment. Does he have enough forces along the top side now to finish out that Town Hall and the multi-target Inferno? Big forces still standing up for Stadra. Will the defense stand, Itsu?
Those eagle shots are hitting those healers hard, and the Royal Champion losing her ability versus that Town Hall is not the best thing either. And we have now a back and eagle. Can he still make that work? And Queen is staying alive for now. She is able to reach most of those things, but the healers are going down versus those red bombs. And now everything is relying on this backhand, relying on the backhand eagle, on the backhand multi-inferno tower. We have one rage left. He's going to use that, but the Royal Champion already dropped. 25 seconds left. Haze at the top side. There are a ton of red bombs. But can those goons make it work? Those goons somehow need to finish off the space, but there's so many traps, so much damage over there.
He's timing out! I don't think he's got it. He's falling apart. The balloons just got hammered by that Eagle artillery, even with help from the Archer Queen pathing into the middle to take it down. The Tesla farm up at the top. The last line of defense for Stadra, and it holds. Hold the line, Queen Walkers. 93% 2-star, and Aphelion have finally been rebuffed. The sandbags stacked at the top. The clever defense there from Stadra, just a little bit more than he could handle. Great entry point, but not going to be a value to justify that big expenditure early on. And ultimately, we are left with a lead for the Queen Walkers, a narrow 7%. But in a war that was perfectly perfect so far, that is a big pickup.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Lady B pushed ahead a little bit too far with her perfect prediction. Who knows? I mean, we did the same, to be honest, but it's just
I did
the kings of jinxing. So yeah, at this point, it looks like we won't have a perfect. At least one of the attacks are going to be a defense, and we have now Utah coming in. And now the question is this going to be only even one perfect? That's the main question. He is coming in with the Queen Charge Hybrid. 3 rages, 2 heal spell, pretty classic entry overall. And he should be able to take down both bomb towers with this Town Hall charge. And that's always great value, Woody.
Yeah, it sometimes gets kind of thrown away as a forgotten building in an air meta especially. It just kind of seems like something you got to place on the field somewhere, but it is really designed well to deny hogs and miners this specific strategy by Utah from getting maximum value, just blowing up as many troops as possible. But that is not going to happen this time around. The charge in the bottom corner might not seem like it is getting everything that it needs, but there's some clever trickery at play here from Utah, so do not underestimate it. We do have some ground targeting expos as well that would otherwise have been some pretty good long-range damage against the attack getting neutralized. So even though you're still seeing those multi-target infernos up, scatter shot in the core, and an eagle artillery still far away from the encounter, Utah 14 will charge against the enemy queen and scatter shot in that left corner first, and has got a solid shot to get this thing back up and finished for a perfect war.
Yeah, we have that queen inside the single phone tower, using the ability to keep her alive, and now we have the chaos starting, which hybrid is. Hybrid is the controlled chaos, if you want to call it like this, because only the master can control it, and we have the hybrid slowly pushing through. We have one more heal spell left. He has to use it right in front of that eagle, but there is that defending king as well. The scatter shot inside this core is keep staying up, keep dishing out that damage, and that is really deadly against out of those hybrid troops. But there is the Royal Champion splitting off, maybe taking down the scatter. Is the Royal Champion going to make it? Yes, it is. And now we have this hybrid finishing in under the back ammo Inferno tower with 1 minute left, and the queen alive, Woody. I think we have the perfect war on our hands.
Utah 14 has done it! The Queen Walkers marching on with a perfect war! Incomparable offensive performance from them. All 15 stars claimed. And that is going to be it for Aphelion. They will be kicked down to the lower bracket with another opportunity to compete later in this double elimination format. But with the Queen Walkers with 5 for 5, their offense is really impressive right now. And it's just going to be a question for me whether they've saved some bases for the next match to try to get into the grand finals, because Aphelion Esports have been doing a really great job against them as well, only missing 7% out of their first 4 attacks. 3 of them triples. Really suggests that the Queen Walkers might need to focus a little bit more on defense now. I mean, they have a perfect offense at this point. What more can you ask of them? Nothing, right?
I mean, if you get out of those 15 stars, it is really likely that you're going to win, to be honest. So, as long as their offense always looks like this, I think they can be happy. But still, there's one more defense to go. Let's see if Aphelion can make it 14 stars overall. And so far, this Group B is looking incredibly strong with their showing. Aphelion, with their last attack, let's see if they can make it count.
Yeah, if you get 15 stars, the only way to lose at that point is if your opponent also gets 15 stars and even faster than you. Something that we have not yet seen in the Clash Masters that I've really got my fingers crossed, hoping that we get that perfect be perfect. As hard as it would be for the team that took longer with their attacks. Nevertheless, though, let's go take a look back at Choco now. The last attacker for Aphelion Esports, trying to get that 14 up on the board. If he still does manage to do so, that could be the second strongest offense that we see in this Group B, and could bode very well for them through the bottom bracket. There will be a team that emerges to the grand finals from the bottom bracket, and Aphelion wants to send a clear message that it is going to be them. Starting off on the charge with the right side corner, it is a Sui dive. There are no healers to back up this triple La Lune strike. Knocking down some ground targeting expos, though. The Queen's either going to go up for the Town Hall or down for the air defense. But it's going to be tough to be able to grab both of them. Getting burnt up now by the Giga Inferno. She goes, continue pathing along the top side, and that's going to leave an air defense left for that Grand Warden to try to go grab. Or the World Champion, rather.
I think we're about to witness a really cool Royal Champion trick, because we have 2 earthquakes, and a couple of lightnings. But wait a second, the Royal Champion is going in the complete different direction than he expected. And now he has to somehow get that attack back on where it's supposed to go. Those headhunters are...
What on earth? He's freezing, poisoning, and invising all right there in the center, trying to take down the enemy CC troops and keep this royal champion safe. He's spending virtually every spell he's got on this dive, Itsu.
Spending everything onto that royal champion, and still those headhunters are surviving. So not really optimal. He's now sending in the blimp to target that inside scatter shot to make sure that it's going down. But that royal champion shield did not go where he was supposed to go. All of those loons are going away right away with those red bombs, but the Dragon Rider is staying alive. Now with that huge loon parade, is he able to push that through? He has one lava hound left and 7 more loons to push them in from the right side. There's only the single Fermentor left alive. He has 1 minute left, and this is looking strong. The loons are pushing in. He has 1 haste, 1 freeze left. And I think he should not even use that freeze, so make sure that this sound is popping, because I feel like the biggest threat at this point is the time. He has 40 seconds left, but not too much cleanup, Woody.
The Hound does pop Inferno Tower beaming straight onto it, and the spread looks pretty strong. Troops are going to be going out in multiple different directions. Lots of minions and pups going for the top side, even a few balloons breaking off. So fortunate news here for Chaco. He's still losing troops to traps on the interior of the base, but the cleanup is going to be very effective after all, thanks to the nice early positioning from him there. Aphelion Esports with a 14-star showing, thanks to Chaco's last triple, only missing that 7% in their 4th hit. A very tight war, and I gotta say, Aphelion have impressed me. They outperformed my expectations and have got a solid shot still into this bottom bracket. But Queen Walkers, Week 1 champions, will be moving on in the upper bracket and only need 1 more victory in order to get a grand finals spot, Itsu.
Yeah, that's right, and we have still so more matches to go. The next match is going to be HT Family facing off against Alternate. The winner of that match, then again, is going to face Queen Walkers. The loser of that next match is going to face Aphelion. But to be honest, if I take a look at that match, I don't know, I don't want to face either, like one of them. Like, both of those teams looked super strong today in their first match. So I don't know, it's not going to be an easy thing for these next 2 contenders. But let's hope that they're ready for this next one, Woody.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen alternate attacks lose in a war that they did not compete in. But with Aphelion Esports and Queen Walkers getting a 15-14 scoreline, that is got to be really scary for both them and HT Family. We're ready to take a quick break, though. Get ready for alternate attacks for HT Family coming up next. Stay with us. Howdy, y'all, and welcome back to Clash Masters! We are deep into our playoff week where Group B will have one last match before we get a chance to see how our bracket shapes up for the rest of the day. One more chance for HT Family and for alternate attacks to prove themselves in the arena, or they're going down to the lower bracket in this double elimination format. Who's going to face off against Queen Walkers next for a spot in the grand finals, and who's going to have to go down and face Aphelion Esports? A terrifying prospect either way. My name's Woody. I'm joined here today by Itsu, and we are about to start our second war. Itsu, what are you looking forward toward?
I'm looking forward to an incredible match because considering that we had Justin 15-14, I mean, both of those teams want to have an as good showing as possible because they have to face those other two teams and they had really high scores. So it's not going to be an easy one, but I think we should take a look at the rosters first. So let's check out the first team and see what this roster looks like. We have as the first team HT Family with ICU, Izuke, Fire, Jinmu, and Quink. And this is a really good team which is out there for quite some time. So we can expect a lot from them, hopefully, Woody.
Yeah, I think so too. I gotta say though, HT Family has had consistent, but not necessarily top scoring performance. This is a squad that qualified through points. So for the first 3 weeks, they were getting placements in that playoff spot for the Clash Masters qualifiers, but never an outright victory. Their top showing was in the first week where they got third place, dropping out to MCES, and were also defeated by the Queen Walkers. They did get a victory over Tompanai Empire, though, a Worlds qualified team. So they certainly have an interesting history and have been able to get big wins before. But with defeat also to Nishang Dance, another team that's going to be in the Clash Masters playoffs from Group A, it's going to be a dicey run for them. Lost to Queen Walkers in Group 3, kind of across the board. They've had some tough runs. And going up against alternate attacks, a World Championship team, they're going to have a good run in this next 5 hits if they want to get the win. Let's go take a look at alternate attacks, though. Itsu?
Yeah, we have the familiar names out there. Yo-Yo23, Boom, Ast, Vale, and Musk. All of them together. They're fresh back home from their vacation. And let's see if it was refreshing for them and they found their skill back for Clash in this competition against HT Family. Obviously, you want to be in this higher bracket, in this upper bracket, to make sure that you have the best chance of getting this victory. And we have HT Family starting this match off with some dragons, dragon riders, and some rages, which means we're going to witness a Hydra attack onto this base from us.
Rocking through the right corner with that Barbarian King ready to smash him up, and Eagle Artillery and that air defense. Support from the Archer Queen as well, and that right corner is about to get deleted. A from HT Family has got a Battle Blimp as well to support this Hydra push. But wow, is he going to really commit to this top right side? An aggressive play to get things kicked off here in this war. Itsu going to have to go for a long bomb approach all the way across this base. But holding on to the Battle Blimp, he does have a plan B in case things start looking a little bit tricky here. Early encounters with the scatter shots, though, bode well for an attack that would otherwise have some difficulty with them, and shutting down that sweeper in the center and the multi-target Inferno at the same time. Good news for King K. I like this approach so far. It is a risky one, though, Itsu.
It is a risky one indeed, but with that Warden ability, everything is staying safe. The Warden is reaching that tunnel. That was the key thing about this attack. And he has so many spells, it feels like. A backhand freeze is even keeping the Queen alive, because the Queen somehow was able to get through that wall because of the Yak opening it up. And now we have that back. And wait a second, even the Royal Champ is even coming in. Yes, a freeze left, which means if the Single Fern Tower is locking onto his Royal Champ, that should be no problem whatsoever. There is the freeze. And I feel like this, with that Royal Champ ability, he should be easily be able to clear things up and get that first 3-star in this match.
Archer Queen got taken down by a little baby bomb. You wish you had a little bit of minesweeping action in there, but unfortunate to lose her. Still, like you mentioned, Queen K is going to have so much left over here with the Royal Champion charging in for the cleanup kill. A couple of dragons and their little baby going to be still there to finish this thing off. Holding on to a couple of archers as well. He'll stack those in for another quick second kill there on the last building. And Asta's base has been demolished. HT family come in with a strong punch to start this thing off. And I won't say an atypical attack, but usually we see a bit more of an orthodox strategy for the opening. It was unusual to see Hydra on a Sui charge against the back line of this base, not even going for the town hall until the very end of the attack. Signals to me that HT family knows that they are going to have an uphill battle against alternate attacks and are willing to make some risky plays to try to get the win.
Yeah, and just the approach with having so many rages for this Hydra part was really impressive. Like, he delayed the first rages for so long, and then just raging in the core, delaying the warden ability even longer to make sure that all of those black mines, which are typically located inside this core, being able to tank all of those was a really good move. And then the fact that this Yak opening up the wall for the queen to make sure that she's reaching that next compartment was clutch overall. And then the blimp reaching the town hall was... the space was done. So really good first hit for HT family. And now we have to take a look at Alternate to see if they can get their first 3-star in as well. They were a little bit shaky the last couple of times, so let's see if they can get back on form. And we have Boom starting things off, this time not with the Blizzard, but instead with some lightnings, but he's sticking to that Lalo.
Archer Queen bottom corner with some support from the King as well. Charging in basically a Sui dive here with an Ice Golem to protect the King this time instead. Finds his way onto the enemy King, and it will be a clash of kings in the bottom left corner. Slicing and chopping as best they can. The ability popped now, and with the Yak as well, that will be able to finish them off. Royal Champion to help the King as well, and this is going to be a big commitment on the heroes early on by Boom of alternate attacks. 2 Lava Hounds and the Stone Slammer, big offensive bulk out in front of these loons, crashing in on the Eagle Artillery nice and early for this attack. Still seeing an enemy Royal Champion over in that right side corner, protecting an air defense and a multi-target Inferno. That's why Boom is holding on to those 3 headhunters to finish her off on the last stage of this attack. But this is a lightning quick strike here. It's wasting no time at all.
No time at all is getting wasted, but take a look at this back end tester form. It just popped up as he was crossing the 50% mark, and now it's all about this back end. The multi-furniture on the back end is getting frozen up, so no chance of fighting back. And he even has the warden ability left. Now the warden ability in combination with those headhunters, so the scatter shot has no chance. Oh, wait a second. Those tester might completely mess up the pathing with this. With this scatter staying up, this might be a big problem for him, because this scatter can deal a ton of damage to those loons. But with this invisibility spell, only the owl is getting targeted for now. Oh. If a loon can make it on top of that scatter, it would look good. There's only 1 loon. Is this going to be enough, Woody, for this?
And the builder hut takes it down. Headhunters distracted by the CC there. Finally, we get a Grand Warden to get a few shots off on there, and he's distracting the scatter shot as well. That might have just saved the raid, because Scattershot could easily pop those balloons and the minions at the same time. Grand Warden took one for the team, hovering around on his magic cloud, just like Goku there. Boom from alternate attacks gets the triple in not a dominant showing, but a triple is a triple after all, and that's going to give a sigh of relief for his other teammates and some more time to gather themselves and prepare for the next strike. Perfect start for both of these squads so far. And once again, we are seeing a tight war shaping up here, Itsu.
Yeah, both teams starting with those 3 stars, and it looked really overpowering at the end, but at the same time, all of those loons were really low on hit points, which means if that Warden would have not tanked that scatter, 1 shot maybe, or maybe 2 shots off that scatter shot, and all of those loons were down. So it looked pretty overpowering at the end, but it was actually pretty close with the retargeting of those defenses. Either way, getting those 3-star in is really important to start things off as well with 3 stars for Alternate. And now we're back to HT Family to see what they can bring next to the table against the Alternate bases, which are typically defending so good. But can they make it in this match as well against such a tough opponent? That's a big question, Woody.
Yep. That's the question we've always got to ask ourselves, Itsu. And I think that for me, I'm still in the alternate attacks camp on this one. I still think that they are going to go further, have got more firepower available to them. But I will say in HT Family's defense that alternate attacks has been playing a bit imbalanced in this Clash Masters tournament. I don't want to say that they're playing weak at all, but they haven't necessarily always brought that 15-star performance that we know that they can do. A 15-star showing over JX Tiger. They got 15 stars over their previous opponents in Worlds, MCES. So this is a clan that is capable of perfect wars, but they've also had some strange setups. They got a 13-star draw against a relatively unknown clan, Fireworks, compared to these World Championship squads that have gone up against them. A tie there, just barely eking out a win on percentage, was strange. They got 12 stars against the Queen Walkers, who we saw earlier. They are not a team that were able to even advance out of points from the first 3 weeks of the qualifiers, taking another strange and unfortunate loss to RTK. So alternate attacks has shown up very strong in the past. They got their win over Aphelion Esports, a 13-12 to get their spot here in the Clash Masters playoffs. But HT Family have shown that when they're on a hot streak, there is nothing that can stop them. Let's see if Brave Intrepid, their second attacker, starting out with a Queen Charge in the left corner, set it up with a Sui dive. In fact, no healers to keep her safe for this Hydra opening is going to get the work done.
Yeah, and we have pretty much a hero dive for those heroes are not getting kept alive, which I have to say, I don't like too much. I feel like on those air attacks, so many times we see those heroes being the clutch factor at the end, being able to save the attack. But this time around, though, he's just pushing in with his heroes, going for that eagle, and maybe even he tried to get that defending queen out of the way as well, because on the back end now, he has 2 scatter shots going up against him, which is not going to be an easy thing at all. We have the dragons and the dragon riders getting started at that bottom side, and we have to wait for that blimp, because this blimp is going to get the town hall again. Okay, no warn ability for the blimp, instead most likely a different angle to make sure that it's less likely baited, because Alternate is really known for being really good at baiting those blimps. A couple of Black Mans are getting triggered. The question still remains, what about this town hall and what about the blimp?
Yeah, I've seen double giant bombs take out a hog army, but double seeking air mines knocking down a dragon rider is something completely different. Other dragon riders at the top side just had no support at all to finish off the enemy archer queen, who still is above half hit points, looking healthy and on the prowl, ready to strike quick. Nice bat bomb here on the top corner. We'll be able to get this scatter shot down. A free spell as well to deny that other scatter shot a chance to fire at the bats, and they are really ripping through this space fast. The main army is down here, but Brave Intrepid has got an ace up his sleeve, Itsu.
With those bats, he's trying to go through, but this defending queen is protecting that scatter shot. And with only 15 seconds left, this is not looking good. And now we see the scatter shot. Yep, there goes those bats. All of those bats are gone. And with 5 seconds left, this is the first defense in this matchup. In the match between Aphelion and Queen Walkers, we had to wait until like the 8th attack or something for the first fail. In this match, already the 3rd attack is going to be a defense, and the percentage is looking incredibly good. 78%. That's a defense you take any day of the week for sure.
Yeah, the 87% 2-star there came threateningly close to the triple. There was really only just the scatter shot that was keeping them away from it. But as you saw, their scatter shot will just wreck bats. Any splash damage onto them, and they are going to be done for. Got them awfully low, actually. That scatter shot was not at full health at the end. It took a few shots from the bats earlier on. but that defending Archer Queen was just so powerful on the top side of the base, keeping those Dragon Riders at bay and ensuring that any little defensive chance that alternate attacks had to hold on to that base was going to be claimed. So victory for alternate in that last exchange, a 1-star leg up potentially if they can triple here and now. Vale certainly has the skills to do it, but can he execute, Itsu?
Yeah, we have, I think it's pretty much the same army composition onto this base as well. So let's see how the alternate version of this strategy is going to work. We have the Headhunter coming in, making sure protecting that Royal Champion. The King is going for that Town Hall with that Queen together. The Ice Golem should freeze the town. Wait a second, the town is just disappearing with all of this damage. And now even the Royal Champion is taking down the core of this base. No invisibility spell whatsoever, so this Royal Champion is going to go down. But still, he got so much out of this base already. And now we have those dragons getting started at the top side into this base. The first red bombs are popping, but that's not too big of a threat. Question though is, those black mines, they are a big threat because now those dragons need to move inside this base, and there are more black mines coming up, Woody.
Yeah, these dragons are just evaporating. Triple shots from that Eagle artillery, knocking into a few of them. Seeking air mines and defending super minions, even popping a few more hits off. Single target Inferno locks onto the Stone Slammer, but Vale will use that Eternal Tome to protect, to get the drop there and keep on pathing deeper into the base. Bat Bob coming out on the left corner now. Is there any splash damage that could shut it down? Yes, a scatter shot, but it locks onto the Dragon Rider first. Vale will be able to continue his path of destruction on the left side and holding on to 2 more free spells. He is not going shy to drop those in quick. Gets it down, and there's no more splash damage structures that can finish off these bats. Just got to look out for any big red air bombs that might try to take him down, but that is looking like an overwhelming showing from Vale. 3 stars easily claimed without any defenses left, and it is a minute for cleanup. Vale has done it, Itsu.
And take a look what type of an overkill this is. Yes, so many dragons alive, a ton of dragon riders alive as well. And this is a huge, huge one-sided attack. Really nicely done by him. And this means alternate are now taking the lead after the second attack of both of those teams. HG family need to 3-star this next attack. Otherwise, they keep falling behind. And this is never a good thing against alternate.
Certainly not, but alternate looking really strong right now with 2 3-stars right out of the gate. Something that they haven't always been able to do in past wars, so happy for them that they were able to replicate here. HT family missing on their second attack really signals to me that they are going to be in a tough position, especially bad to be behind and have to attack first. It means that even if you get the triple here, you still are going to be behind. And if you get a 2-star, it's basically the end of your war at that point when you're behind by a star already. And in kind of the lower 90s, it's going to be a tough chance for HT family even just to tie on stars and try to get that percentage ahead, Itsu.
Yeah, not an easy task at all, indeed. So HT family, I think they're going in with air again. I feel like so far at least they were really successful with air, except this one dragon bats attack, which really backfired horribly for them. But I don't know, I feel like, I mean, yes, Vale just showed how to do those hero dives where you don't have to keep them alive. But I feel like I don't know, I don't like it that much, especially that Vale took down the town, not the eagle, is a huge game changer on this one. So the Clan Castle placement was pretty big. We have the next attack coming in, and they're not going in with air, but instead we have the Queen Charge hybrid onto the space of Musk, and he's bringing 4 air expos, which means the Queen Charge ground attack makes sense for sure.
It was a bit atypical to have seen 2 bat attacks in a row, back to back. Haven't quite seen as much success as we just saw from them by alternate attacks, but knowing when to use an unusual strategy for maximum effect is super important here. I see you having a bit of trouble as the healers are going to start coming into air defense range, and that's one of them down already. Pops the invisibility spell to try to keep them safe, but the Archqueen's lock onto the Town Hall, and that is going to be even more damage next for those healers. Has to drop balloons just to take the damage for them. Not even really getting very much value out of them, but the main phase of the attack is now underway. It's going to be a big charge from the left side corner. Grand Warden protecting this hybrid army and a siege barracks as well for some additional funneling along the outside edge, Itsu.
Yeah, taking out everything the hybrid is going through, and so far not too many spring traps were on the path of those miners. The Queen, though, is really fighting for her life, somehow staying alive for now, but it's not going to be easy. Another rage is getting invested, but with this archer tower on the healers, it is not looking that good for the Queen. Hybrid, though, is having a lot of problems as well. The heal spell is getting placed, a freeze as well. But with this heal spell, maybe you can keep enough troops alive, but they're just getting taken down. We have the P.E.K.K.A, which is fighting for everything at the bottom side, but this king, the defending king, is still alive. The Queen is getting taken down, and the attack, which looked in theory really good because we had 4 air expos versus the ground attack, it's just not paying off, Woody.
This is devastation for HT family. An intrepid P.E.K.K.A in the bottom corner managed to trigger a couple of those giant bombs, trying to keep the ground army safe. But as you can see on your screen, 5 giant bombs in that bottom compartment. Really tough to overcome the damage that they can dish out. Even bringing in heal spells, the burst of that splash damage is super effective against a hybrid army from the bottom. And they were just unable to exit that compartment. Still a defending hero, keeping things safe in the bottom corner there. So with that deficit from their 2-star in the second attack, HT family are going to once again fall behind in attack number 3 and really just leave the door wide open for alternate attacks to just storm on through here and take this war in the mid stage.
Yeah, I think if Alton is going to get like another 3-star, this match is pretty much done. Especially considering how the first match went. I think, yeah, maybe Alton looks good to face off against Queen Walkers, but I think HG Family really needs to improve as well if they want to have a chance versus the Field Esports. This is how those matchups look like right now with the tendencies which we're showing or which we're seeing in the match at the moment. But still, a lot of attacks to go. If Ortet, though, are getting this next 3-star, this would be a huge, huge boost for them into this match, and a huge, how do you say, a huge, huge move for Alternate getting another lead in this match overall.
Well, the opportunity is out there for them now, and even if they were to miss the 3-star, look, a 2-star would put them up at 8, still ahead of HT Family. And it would have to be a pretty low 2-star to drop their percentage down below where HT Family is at. So they have got a lot of breathing room here. Alternate attacks are not a squad to let up the pressure, though. And against HT Family in a high-stakes match right now, they know that this is a win that they want to get, not just barely, but decisively. Ast will be the next to attack with a log launcher, setting up following a Queen charge into a Dragon Rider heavy comp. Battle Blimp will be the first stab at the Town Hall compartment here. Popping it early, though, out here on the right side corner. Bombs exploding and giving a little bit of trouble for the troops that are streaming out, taking down that single target Inferno and making their way over to the Town Hall. Yeti Mites topping around, but they don't even activate the Town Hall. No encounter there for Ast, yet he still has gotten some pretty solid value to set up for the next stage here. It's going to be that Queen charge into the bottom corner, popping down the CC troops and ready for a knockdown finish, Itsu.
Yeah, this entry so far looks really, really strong for him. He has only 4 Dragon Riders, but at the same time, he is bringing a lot of cleanup troops to make sure that this attack is not falling short on time. Getting the screenshots into the town compartment is huge, because with the setup of how those buildings are structured and like how this layout is forming out, I think the Queen should always stay close to the wall, which means the Queen should be able to dodge that Town Hall poison. And this is obviously always a huge thing, especially if you're charging into that Town Hall compartment. At the moment, it takes a long, long time for this Queen to get through all of this because of all of those skeletons traps. We have another wall break to get the Queen even further inside the base. Now it's all about the pathing of that queen. Where is the queen going? Is she going to dodge that tower poison? Yes, she is. Time is ticking though. 1 minute 30. There we go with those Dragon Riders. They're starting on the complete other side of the base. And now we have to wait if he can keep them alive. The loons are in as well. Most of them already going down. But now it's all about this defending queen getting taken down. Because if he can do that, this attack looks stunning so far for Alternate.
Got her down, and that's going to be an unprotected multi-target Inferno right next to it. Dragon Rider gets the path directly onto it, but a defending Air Sweeper is trying to push it back as best as it can do. It makes its way in, and the Air Sweeper retargeting on, gets another blowout there. Whoosh! But not able to get that Dragon Rider off. Right there in the center, now it's going to be that Royal Champion making another hit at that defending scatter shot, knocking apart a few shots, but that defending skeleton trap is going to distract her for a little while here. Still not enough to keep her away from her target. Invisibility spell out on the defending multi-target Inferno to let those troops get a little bit more up close and personal, I suppose. Pops the queen ability for some additional DPS on this final cleanup, and that is going to be it. Ast gets the 3 stars for alternate attacks to continue that perfect march toward victory.
Really, really strong performance so far from them, getting 3 out of 3 of those attacks with 3 stars, which is looking like a really one-sided match, you want to say, because HG family is really struggling against those alternate bases so far. Even with those air expos, you can't make it work with the ground, so things like that, not getting those 3 stars on those setups is always really unfortunate. But now HG family, if they want to have any chance, I mean at this point it's unlikely, we have to say that, but if they want to have any chance, they need to 3-star now. They need to keep that what they started off, like they started so strong into this match, and then they were falling short twice. So now getting their 3 stars to make sure that they have the chance of staying inside this would be the biggest thing. Like, this is what they have to do if they want to have a chance.
Well said, Itsu. They have to win if they want to have a chance. They are now behind by 2 stars. They're going to need some impressive 3-star finishes here, as well as defenses. It is not likely, Itsu. There's a lot of different ways to say this here, but being 2 stars behind in the mid-war is kind of a tough position, to say the least. IzK is going to be trying to make the best out of this tough spot, though, trying to squeeze out a win from the jaws of defeat. Sends in an early Lava Hound to insulate that strike against that air defense. Big investment, but it will protect the Dragon Rider as well, and he ought to be able to path onto that Eagle Artillery. Getting that knocked down early is going to be a big spin for IzK, but he's got a multi-pronged attack here, and I don't even think I can follow everything that's happening right now. Itsu, what is drawing your attention, though?
I think the queen charge, like depending on where the queen goes, this looks really good or really bad depending on that. The next thing is that he's only bringing 3 Dragon Riders, which is not that common. The next wall breaker is targeting the exact correct wall to make sure that the queen is pathing into the town direction. And with this, he should be looking good. Now the question though is, when is how is that hound timing looking like? Because it looks like the hound is exactly coming when that queen was. Oh, he is making that hound invisible, which is a nice move, because this means this tunnel is going down first, and then the queen can deal with that defending hound. So really good timing on that one. But now we have 3 Dragon Riders against the rest of this base. Is this going to be enough? That's the question. Are there any spring traps against those headhunters? It seems to be no. So this defending queen is going down. He's going against the sweeper, but with having the Royal Champion over there as well, this attack really is still looking really good.
Very nice Eternal Tone to IzK. Great protection at the moment he needed it most. Still holding on to a couple more spells to try to finish this whole thing off. Big shield from that champion, knocking apart the sweepers, and that's going to get the remaining Dragon Riders right onto target. 2 of them there going down, though, in the center of this base, and a scatter shot still up, wrecking havoc for the attacking troops. It's just a little bit that remains on the interior here now as they're about to get to the outer edges of this base. An archer tower or 2 on the backside is not going to be enough to stop these cleanup troops. 48 seconds left to finish everything off. Just keep an eye on those Teslas over in the right side corner. What is going to get over to them? Dragon Rider's awfully low, and I don't expect it to be able to finish this thing off. Grand Ward's going to have to be awfully careful to keep his troops happy and safe if he wants to get the win here.
Yeah, the Warden somehow needs to target those correct buildings to make sure that all of the Tesla are going down, because those Tesla might be the biggest problem. At the same time, we have only 18 seconds left in this one. Warden is now switching over to the mortar. Should be able to take down this Tesla, especially with the troops tanking. And with only a couple of seconds left, he is able to do it. ISK is getting the 3-star, which was so important for HG Family, making sure that they can maybe get this comeback win. But this is just giving this chance to the team of making this comeback possible.
You are a generous and friendly man. It's given HT Family every opportunity that they deserve to get the comeback here after all. 1-star lead, but 2 attacks left for Alternate. Play out the worst possible scenario for Alternate right now in your mind. The worst possible scenario, as far as I can tell, is Alternate gets like a 2-star screw up in their next attack. HT Family responds with a 3-star, and then knowing that they have to get either a high percentage 2-star or 3-star, Alternate attacks, then what, like, gets a 1-star? I don't even really see like what the path to victory is for HT Family besides like a ridiculous drop of the ball by ATN or like a disconnect or something. Yeah, I mean, I love playing up the drama here, but I think that the main storyline right now is for that Alternate attacks is just swamping all over the competition with excellent offensive pickups and really big defensive wins. I don't like having such a one-sided commentary like that because it starts to seem a little biased, but it's worth reminding the viewers that Alternate attacks are the reigning world champions, and even when they take a loss, it is usually a signal that they just weren't taking that match as seriously as they may have needed to. In the playoffs now, though, that is not going to be the case. There is no chance that they are going to leave this up to anything but their own skill as the determining factor here. So with Mask now the next attacker for Alternate attacks, expect to see another 3-star stomp on their path to glory.
Yeah, and he's coming with the Queen Charge Hybrid, which is making things a little bit interesting because he's going in with the jump spell, something which is not that common when you do a Queen Charge with Hybrid, because you normally need all of your spells for either the Queen Charge or for the Hybrid. But with this, he might be running low on spells, already having to invest that invisibility spell to keep that Queen alive. And now we have the Headhunter coming in, and this multi-Inferno Tower is already locking onto those healers. So this is really bad news. He needs to reset that. He needs to make sure that it's switching onto the Hybrid. That's why he's going to freeze it. The Queen is on the Town Hall. Meanwhile, with all of those expos onto the Queen, without any rages left, this is not going to be easy for her to stay alive, Woody.
Yeah, this is a bit of a tricky spread here now. Still has got that dive looking strong over to the left corner, but needs to get some more value in that compartment, hopefully trying to take down that enemy Eagle artillery. But with a well-protected Royal Champion behind those walls, Barbarian King will not be able to get there, and forcing some additional time spent by that P.E.K.K.A. even trying to chop through that compartment. Mask is having some difficulty now on the backside, but still has got a shot here. Grand Warden well insulated on the interior here, and great use of these heal spells to get those hogs topped back off. If he can hammer through this Eagle artillery in the left corner, he still has got a great attempt, and with the P.E.K.K.A. just soaking so many blows for these Wizards and Hog Riders, she may go down, but she has done her job. Mask is going to get the 3-star here after all, Itsu. That is 12 stars total for Alternate attacks, rivaling the performance from our prior two teams.
Yeah, Alternate really getting this now last nail into the coffin, getting this 3-star, which means they should win this match. And this is a really strong performance, and they need that, especially confidence mindset-wise. Going up against Green Walkers, not an easy opponent at all, especially considering that, well, both of those teams had those, well, maybe had both 15 stars, depending on the next attack from Alternate. But Green Walkers having 15 stars is not an easy opponent to face for sure. And at the same time now for HG Family on the other side, it's not going to be easy against Aphelion. They had 14 stars and they looked so strong. They were 7% away from another perfect as well. So I think HG Family really need to step up their game if they want to have a chance in this lower bracket matchup.
Right, you are. And it's tough to have to say it, but the other 3 teams in Group B really do seem to be a step above what HT Family has been able to show us so far. The defenses in that first war, I will say, falling relatively quickly. If HT Family has got some great bases left for round 2, they may still have a solid shot, but they're going to have to take 2 wins if they're in the lower bracket, and that looks awfully likely where they will wind up being. The only path to victory at this point is going to be a 3-star from HT Family next, and then some awful drop by alternate attacks following up. Not the sort of thing that you would ever expect to see from them. So alternate attacks have really got their eyes set in the upper bracket right now, showing their next opponents that they mean business with a potential perfect war opportunity here now, Itsu.
And I don't know what happened, but this match is just... Wait a sec! Oh, no. Are there any more red bombs? We saw this already yesterday happening to a team, to a player, where it just all of your healers are gone in the first second, but where are those other red bombs? It feels like he did not trigger all of them with those healers. And this means the healers, for now at least, are staying alive. And there were so many black mines. This charge was really trying to be baited, but somehow the queen is staying alive for now. So is he able to push the queen even further? That's the big question, Woody.
Baited the charge and almost immediately whomped off. The queen is staying alive and healthy because those healers are still up, but they are just about to go down. So keep an eye out for this multi-target Inferno. Really need to make sure that those healers do not wander within range. Still, though, the hybrid army is looking strong for Jinmu, pathing directly alongside this Grand Warden and well protected with that Eternal Tome now. The pathing looks beautiful, but keep an eye out for this defending Archer Queen. She could be a big obstacle. Nice placement for those headhunters, and with a heal spell up as well, the defending Queen goes down, and Jinmu is 1 step closer to the triple.
Yeah, the reinforcement Hawk Riders are looking really good as well, with the minus going for the inner Inferno Tower. The Moja Inferno Tower is not going down though. So many Pirates repairing it up. But now, with those Hawk Riders coming in, the Scatter Shot is gonna reset. The Roger ability is gonna use as well. Can this Moja Inferno Tower finally go down? And at this point, I feel like we know why this charge was baited. This looks really, really strong for a Jinmu. It's only about time. The Royal Champion is going down, but this queen can reach now everything. And with this, HG Family should get that next 3-star on the board to make sure that they're finishing on 13 stars, which is not too bad.